The Zoom call ended, but the audio didn't. The coffee in my mug was lukewarm and bitter, tasting like burnt beans and Monday morning despair. I sat in the blue-white glow of my dual monitors, staring at a Zoom call with 512 participants, gray boxes, cameras off, waiting for the axe to fall. We all knew it was coming. Rumors had been creeping through Slack for weeks, revenue down, hiring frozen. Still, we clung to hope because we had to. My credit card debt was crushing, my Ford's transmission slipped on the highway, and that year-end bonus wasn't extra, it was survival. The clock on my taskbar hit 9 a.m. The screen flickered. The waiting for host screen vanished, replaced by the high-definition video feed of Julian Thorne, our CEO. Julian was sitting in what looked like a library, though we all knew it was a staged corner of his penthouse. He was wearing a black turtleneck, his attempt at being a visionary and looking somber. He clasped his hands together on the mahogany desk, leaned into the camera, and gave us the look a parent gives a child before telling them the dog went to a farm upstate. Team, Julian began, his voice dropping an octave to simulate gravitas. Family, I want to thank you for logging in this morning. I know Mondays are tough, but we need to have a tough conversation. I felt my stomach tighten. It was a physical sensation, like a fist squeezing my intestines. I took a sip of the terrible coffee just to have something to do with my hands. As you know, Julian continued, pausing for effect, the market headwinds have been fierce this quarter. The global economic climate is shifting. We are facing unprecedented challenges in the supply chain and user retention sectors. Buzzwords. Empty, hollow, corporate buzzwords designed to sanitize the fact that he was about to rob us. We have to be agile, he said. We have to be lean. And most importantly, we have to make sacrifices. I have looked at the numbers from every angle. I have spent sleepless nights trying to find another way. He took a breath. He looked pained. It was an Oscar-worthy performance. It is with a heavy heart that I must announce we are suspending the annual performance bonus program for this fiscal year. There it was. He didn't say, canceling. He said, suspending, as if the money might magically appear later. It wouldn't. I know this is hard, Julian said, his eyes moist. I know many of you count on this. But to keep the ship afloat, to keep everyone employed, we must tighten our belts. I am taking a zero-salary year myself to show my commitment to this cause. We are in this together. Shared sacrifice is what makes this company great. I didn't believe him. Not for a second. Zero salary meant nothing when your stock options were worth $40 million. There will be no questions today, Julian said, glancing off camera. I want everyone to take the rest of the morning to process this. Log off. Be with your families. We will reconvene tomorrow to discuss the restructuring. Thank you for your resilience. He reached forward toward the camera. His finger hovered over the lens. The screen went black. The video feed cut. But the green bar on the audio indicator didn't stop moving. The leave meeting button on my screen turned red, but the meeting didn't end. He hadn't clicked end meeting for all. He had just minimized the window. I froze. My mouse hand hovered over the exit button. I don't know why I didn't click it. Maybe it was shock. Maybe it was the paralysis of realizing I was broke. But I stayed. And then, I heard the sound that would change everything. It was the sound of a heavy leather chair squeaking as someone leaned back. Then, the distinct, metallic clink of a lighter, followed by a sharp intake of breath. God, Julian's voice came through the speakers. It wasn't the somber, deep voice he used a minute ago. It was light, airy, and dripping with arrogance. That was exhausting. I need a drink. My heart stopped. I looked at the participant count. It was dropping fast, 400, 350, 300, as people logged off in disgust. But hundreds were still there. Did they buy it? Another voice asked. It was Greg, the VP of operations. I recognized his nasally whine immediately. Hook, line, and sinker. Julian laughed. It was a cruel, barking sound. Look at the chat logs before I disabled them. They're crying. Oh, but my mortgage, Julian. Pathetic. I reached for my OBS software. I'm a gamer in my spare time. I have screen recording software set up on a hotkey. Alt plus F9. Recording started. What I was about to capture wasn't just a slip of the tongue. It was a confession that would dissolve the barrier between the working class and the ruling class. Julian has absolutely no idea that in about 30 seconds, he's going to give me the keys to destroy his entire life. But the real twist isn't just the greed. It's the specific, petty way he plans to spend the money he just stole from my child's college fund. Watch full video here.